Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be profiling a Bystial Spright or Bystial Synchro Sprite deck profile. This is a kind of a fun variation on Sprite and the Bystials, but with the release of the Red Dragon Archfiend structure deck, we do get a couple of really interesting tools that kind of works with Sprites and Bystials. So we'll get to that when we get into the profile. I will start by saying that the extra deck needs probably a little bit of work. There's probably a couple of monsters that aren't super necessary, but any help in the comments will certainly be appreciated. But to start off with, we've got 3 Lubellion, 3 Saronir, 2 Druis Worm, 1 Magnemite, a Regained, and a Beast. This is a fairly standard kind of Bystial lineup. Bystials this format certainly are good as interruptions and hand traps. This deck only does fit 9 non-engine, so I'm opting to play 9 hand traps, but having the Bystials as well puts us up to 15 hand traps if you count just the 6 quick effects there as well. So a decent number of non-engine, obviously a lot of Bystials, but that's the Bystial lineup. Every hand kind of wants to see 1. So with 9 here, we do have pretty decent chances of seeing 1. The other thing we kind of want to see alongside a Bystial is some kind of tuner access. And this is where the extra deck kind of gets clunky because of the tuners we're playing. So 3 Assault Synchron, 3 Ringo Worm, and this is where our Red Dragon Archfiend stuff comes in, a Vision Resonator and a Crimson Gaia. Now the really cool thing about this, and this is what I don't think I've really seen people kind of talking about this, is that this little engine provides heaps of crazy follow-up. Vision can be dumped by Sprint. When it's dumped by Sprint, it adds Crimson Gaia. Crimson Gaia can add from graveyard to hand, so you can add back the Vision. And the Crimson Gaia just sits on the field, so every single turn you can add back the Vision. So you've always got a level 2, which is really cool. But the other thing that you get from this little engine is I'm actually playing Scarred and Red Dragon Archfiend, and the Crimson Gaia re-summons them from the graveyard when something has been popped, which you can very easily do with any interruptions, whether it's like a branded beast or things of like that nature. So every turn you can pretty much pump out Synchro 10s with very little difficulty. The only problem is you can't really fit that many Synchro 10s into the extra deck. So this is a really cool inclusion. I think this is really innovative. I think it works really well. You can see this all the time through Sprint. Before, if you sprint to send Ringo Worm, it does nothing in the graveyard because you have to be able to synchro summon. This gives the Sprite engine the ability to access a tuner. You still need to have something to synchro with this, and specifically you need a Bystial on board to be able to actually even summon this. So very often I'm doing Vision Resonator plus a Sprite into the Cupid pitch line, but you do need the Bystial on board to even start that process. But this little engine is super compact. You can see it in pretty much every hand, and I think it's a really cool inclusion moving forward. Something I'd even like to try and, I think in Bystial Synchro Sprite, this definitely is relevant. But it'd be even interesting to see, like, if you played a heavier Sprite deck, even just did away with all of the Ringo Worms and Assault Synchrons, played maybe a heavier lineup of this, maybe like 2 or 3 Vision Resonate and a Crimson Gaia, plus your Bystials, maybe some more hand traps. I think you could play with even just pure Sprite, and the Bystials as non-engine are pretty solid as well. But this is something that I really rate, and it's one of the only support cards from the Red Dragon Archfiend deck that doesn't lock you into anything. So that's why this is really free. There's no locking within these 2 cards, and so you're very free to do what you want, which is really awesome. For the Sprites, this type of deck has a very minimal Sprite lineup, so it's 3 blue, that's the one we want to see, and then just 1 of each of these: Jet, Red Carrot, and a starter. Not much to say here. I'm very rarely searching Jet, to be honest. You kind of want Red and Carrot just to really help get the combo through. And then you're relying on the Synchros and the Bystials to kind of carry the game from there. We're also playing Ibly and Caligo Clawcrow. This is the search target for Cupid Pitch, and this card is just obnoxious. So it is another kind of win con for the deck. Our main normal summon is Cyburst Gadget. This card does a lot on its own as well. You link it off for Ringo. It summons a level 2 token. The level 2 token means that Ringo Worm can be summoned, means sprites can be summoned. Yeah, it does a lot, or it's a 1-card sprint as well. So depending on what your hand is, Cyber's Gadget plus a Bystial is still solid because you can, especially now because we've got Vision Resonator now, Cyber's Gadget can do Ringo token, make sprint, dump Vision Resonator, summon the Bystial by using the Cyber's Gadget, and you can at least play the game. You can make a level 10 synchro just with that. For non-engine, like I said, we're just on 9. Nearbash, Imperm, they're all just pretty decent cards this format. So it's a clean 40. That's my first 40 card deck in a while. Extra deck, and this is where I'll explain where the kind of problems I see are. Gigantic Sprite and Mannequin Cat. I wouldn't change this. Mannequin Cat is really good because it kind of bridges the 2 engines. Mannequin Cat can pull out Bystials, it can pull out Sprites. If your opponent's on Darks, which everyone is playing Darks, so that's really good. These are kind of 2 flex spots. They're just helpful for kind of winning the game. Dark, I think, is pretty useful because of the fact that people are playing Bystials. So Dark is pretty useful. But again, this is what I've kind of opted as my going second kind of flex spots in the extra deck. Sprint is super important for all the combos. Beat Cop because we're trying to maximize our degeneracy with Ibly. We can just do this at the end of every combo. So we can do all of our synchro plays and then finally go Gigantic, make Ibly, go Beat Cop, and tribute it to protect the Ibly. Lingaribo means we can't get Ibly locked, but also it's necessary for the Cyber's Gadget. I mean, you could also, actually, you can't link off the Ibly because you've made it with Gigantic, but yeah, so just for Cyber's Gadget is why it's there. Synchros, we've got Baron and Bystial Dispatter. I'd love to be able to fit Chaos Angel into this just because it's another really good Synchro 10, or even like Chenging would be pretty decent. Probably only can fit 1 in. I guess they're decent as going second card, so maybe it's like Unicorn and Goddess that we do have to kind of cut, even potentially the Dark. But I think I do want 1 more Synchro 10 somewhere in here. I'm playing Goddess because the deck can just spit out so many bodies, it's absurd. This is where things get clunky. So we're on Excel and Stardust because this allows us to maximize the value out of Assault Synchron. Means we can kind of spit out 2 Synchro 10s with this part of the deck. But then this part of the deck, so we're on the Anime Vibes with Stardust and Red Dragon and the Scarred there. So this is where it's rough because we're playing kind of 4 Synchro 8s and they all kind of serve the same purpose, which is to help generate more bodies to get out the Synchro 10s. So I don't know which, like whether it's all necessary to play. This Stardust is only relevant when you have Assault Synchron. This allows you to do the double play with the Baron and the Bystial Dispatter. These can do it with the other tuners. Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know if all 4 are necessary, and this is why the extra deck just feels really tight. It's because we've got these 4, and they all just kind of do similar purposes. So that's something I've got to kind of work out. The last card's Cupid Pitch. Yeah, this is important for all combos with a tuner plus a sprite. Cupid Pitch allows us to go into, again, the Synchro 8s and the 10s and search the Calico Claw Crow, which generally allows us to then go into Sprint or do Gigantic Sprite things to make Ibly. So that's the extra deck. Certainly, please, any advice you have for what we could do at these 4, and as for which ones are the most important to keep, that would be awesome. Or maybe it's just these cut for Chaos Angel. Like if we got rid of both of these and played Chaos Angel and Chen-Ying or Cyframe Lord Omega, maybe that's the play. I don't know. Or we keep the Goddess up. There's a lot of room for discussion on that. But I'll go into some test hands because I think that's the way to kind of show off what the deck can do. We'll go from there. Okay, so we'll start off with a couple of test hands. It's not exactly the type of deck that you can show combos with. I mean, there are certainly combo lines you can take, but test hands are going to really kind of show the combo lines through what you have access to as well. So we've got Imperm, Beast, Blue, Druid Worm, and Carrot. Okay, so here we only really have 1 line of play at the moment, which is to normal summon the Carrot, special summon the Blue, And we're going to use the blue to grab jet. And we're going to use the jet to grab starter. So this is just going to give us some bodies to kind of work with. And so in hands like this is exactly where the Vision Resonator comes into play, because otherwise you've got really no way to access the Vision Resonator or a tuner at all with the current state of the board here. So we'll take jet and blue and we will link them off into Sprint, and we'll get Sprint's effect to send Vision Resonator, which is going to get its effect to add Crimson Gaia, which we are free to activate and add back Vision Resonator with its effect. So this gives us a tuner. From here, there's kind of two ways about we can go. We only have access to one tuner at the moment, and really we're only going to have access to one tuner throughout this combo line in general, because we only have, if we start with none, we've got really no ways to get additional tuners. The only kind of play we could do here, the two options would be, is to summon Ringo Worm by banishing one of these, and then summon Vision Resonator and go into, do Excel into Baron or Disparter. That's one, or we can go Cupid Pitch with Resonator and Carrot, and we'd still use the Ringo Worm later. Yeah, so we'll go we'll go this route for now and kind of just see where it takes us. So we'll go Vision Resonator and Carrot into Cupid Pitch. Now we're going to get Cupid Pitch's effect. We're going to, you know what, it just makes sense to, illegally playing the game. We can't actually summon the Vision Resonator there because we don't have a level 5 dark or higher on the field. So we do actually have to go Ringo Worm. There we go. We'll banish the jet. Can't really do anything more with jet at all. And now we can summon Vision Resonator. From here we can then go into Cupid Pitch if we want to. We still end up in the same place. We're still going to end up with a Synchro 10 at the end of the day. So we may as well keep the Carrot around. So we'll go Druis and Vision into Excel. So in a hand like this, we can't really benefit from Red Dragon and Scarred, even with Crimson Gaia here on the field, because we only have access to the one tuner, being Vision. So we do have to do it this way. Excel brings back Vision, and now we're free to go up into either Dispatter or Baron. Baron, I think, is just the overall stronger option. Although we do have Beast, so I guess there is a world where we go Dispatter. Actually, you know what? I think we'll go Dispatter, just because it does kind of offer a little bit more. So we'll go Dispatter, and then we've got the Beast, so we do kind of benefit from that. Dispatter can pull back the jet. This way we can kind of hold the Carrot on the field if we want to. We can go jet and sprint into the gigantic. We can detach from gigantic in order to summon from deck the Ibli. And then probably in this case, we have no way to use the Carrot negation. Well, actually, we do get it with starter, so we'll probably hang on to it. Yeah, we'll link these two off and go into Beat Cop. Ibli gets its effect to summon to the opponent's field. We can Beat Cop to give it the counter to make it indestructible by battle or card effects once. And then we can just set the 3 cards here, Beast, Imperm, and Starter. The logic being we can Starter for a blue in our opponent's turn. Starter for a blue, Carrot has negation, blue can search the red. Crimson Gaia on the next turn is going to add back Vision Resonator, so we still have access to a tuner. Beast can obviously pop Disparter once it's done its thing, and Imperm there as well for disruptions. So certainly not the strongest board there. Obviously they were under the Ibli. Ibli's interesting. Obviously Bystials are fairly prominent, so yeah, so with the Bystials being around, a tribute summon Bystial is definitely a way to clear the Ibli. Next up we have Imperm, blue, blue, the Ibli, and Beast. So this is not a very fantastic hand. It would be something along the lines of normal blue, special blue, trigger blue. Now here we probably just grab Jet. Having the Ibli in hand is unfortunate because we can't really do much with it. We can obviously special Jet, grab the starter out. Probably overlay Gigantic. Summoning something like a red, and then we can Jet and Gigantic into the Sprint. This is one way we could do this. I mean, we could do that. Although I guess having Gigantic with Sprint on field would be nice. We do kind of like having the red as well. Sprint can just send Vision Resonator just so we can kind of get that into rotation. So we'll get Crimson Gaia. We'll get back Vision Resonator. We can't really do anything with it. It would be nice to have... yeah, I probably could play this out a lot better. It'd be nice to get Mannequin Cat onto the field. So this was probably not the play line, but like with the sprites themselves, there's not really a lot we can do, especially because we opened Ibli. But the sprites just by themselves, I mean, we're trying to set up Mannequin Cat, so I mean, we could always, it's not the best, we could always starter for another blue or a carrot, overlay red and carrot for Mannequin Cat, which feels awkward. Means we've got Mannequin Cat, Sprint, Imperm, the Beast once that someone's out of Bystial. I mean, it's not terrible, but it feels weird getting rid of the red and carrot just for that. But that's probably the way to go because we need big monster access before we can really try and win the game. The sprites on their own are just a small engine, so there's not a lot we can do with them just by themselves. Okay, we've got Ringo Worm, Rebellion, Beast, Blue, and Crimson Gaia. Okay, so this is really nice. Opening Gaia or Vision Resonator is always fine because they both just grab each other interchangeably, and having it alongside Ringo Worm is nice. Yeah, this works out pretty well here. So what we'll do is use the Rebellion. We've already got access to Beast. This has been in our hand every time. So we don't need the Saranir extra ability there. So we'll go Magnemite to grab Druis in end phase. That's always nice. We can go normal Ringo Worm, special blue, trigger blue. And then from here, it depends on what we really want to go to. So we go red just to have that protection from hand traps, or carrot for Imperm. We'll go red, sorry. No, we won't go red. We'll go Jet, just because we do want to kind of leave the Ringo Worm on the field. Otherwise we'd have to link it off. So we'll go Jet, just because this is an extra body. Starter gives us some more plays as well. We can still get the red through starter later on, just not immediately. These two can become Sprint. Do we want these to become Sprint? Sorry, we should think about that before we start throwing things away. And Sprint at the moment is really the only thing we have access to in this extra deck. So with the Sprint here, we'll throw the Assault Synchron into the graveyard just because it's the We've already got Ringo Worm. We're going to get Crimson Resonator, the Vision Resonator through the Crimson Gaia. Assault Synchron can come up with the Stardust things, which we can do here. So we can go Magnemite, banish Jet, declare Magnemite. We could go Magnemite and the Ringo Worm to summon out Excel Synchro Stardust, which can use its effect to bring back a level 2 or lower tuner. We could even use the Excel Stardust here, so, tribute it to summon Stardust, and then quick synchro with what we have into, Baron. That means that the Assault Synchron will trigger, banishing itself to summon out the Excel Stardust. So that's where like the Stardust line kind of fits into things. We've still got plenty of Resonators, so we can banish the Ringo Worm to get the token. These can go into Disparter. We should be putting all these in defense mode because we're going to Ibly lock our opponent as well. From here, we have Disparter to bring back, so we can always just put one of our tuners into the mix again, the best one being Ringo Worm, because it's the one that we can just get really easy use out of. We've got Crimson Gaia to add a Vision Resonator to our hand, which we are fairly free to summon out because we've got the Bystial Spright there on the field. From here, what we can do is, we've always got Disparter for Lubellion as an option. Lubellion can place Regained. And then we can just take these two. The other option is the Sprint. We haven't Gaia added back Vision yet, so no, we'll go these two for Gigantic. We'll detach the Vision because we can get it back. Summon out the Ibly. Crimson can add back Vision. Now, if we're in the interest of maximizing our disruptions, the Gigantic is probably in a bad zone there. So what we could actually do, let's pretend that we had the forethought to do this. Let's put Gigantic over here, because what I actually want to do, if we keep it on, that means Sprint has an extra disruption there, plus Gigantic as disruption as well is pretty nice. So we can go Lubellion and Ibly for Beat Cop. Ibly will trigger to go to the opponent's field. We can Beat Cop, lock our opponent there, and then we can set Beast, set Starter, and end phase Magnemite Search Druis. And this is a pretty crazy kind of end board. This is more or less what we're going for. The extra benefit we got here is that we got Sprint with Gigantic, which we don't regularly get at all. Crimson guys were providing that follow-up. In this line, I know we dumped the Assault Synchron just so we could do the Stardust play, but I haven't showed this off yet, but we certainly could have gone this path also instead. We wouldn't have got the value out of the Assault Synchron, but we still would have got the value out of the other tuners. And then the benefit to this would be that these are in graveyard, and Crimson Gaia can bring one of them back once we Beast pop something, which means that on the following turn, between the Vision and the Synchro that we bring back, we can make another 10, which again, in this extra deck, we're not playing it, but certainly I think Chaos Angel definitely has a spot here in the extra deck as just a really easy body to summon. Otherwise, we're just going to link climb into a Goddess and kill our opponent that way. But yeah, that was a pretty good board there with the Ibly lock and all of the follow-up. What we'll do is we'll do one more and I'll just try and force the RDA stuff. And definitely we could have done it in this test hand. I just got too excited with the Assault Synchron being able to do that line. But I think if we had to be really fussy, the Assault Synchron one probably comes up the least with the Stardust Dragon. So that's probably the one to cut. if we were trying to make space with those 4 synchro monsters that all kind of do the same thing. So we'll do one more and see if we can get the RDA stuff to happen here. So we've got Sarony, Ringo Worm. Oh, we could probably do it with this, definitely. Nib, and Assault Synchron. Okay. This is interesting because we don't really have a way to put one of these into the graveyard in order to be able to summon the Sarony. So this is not going to be a successful test hand in the slightest. No, it is not. Because we've got no way to put a thing into the graveyard for our Sarony. So let's try that again, see if we can do something a little bit better. Okay, we have Ash, Rebellion, Sarony, Imperm, and Nibiru. Yeah, this is not going to get us there either. This would be Rebellion for Magnemite. Yeah, it's not going to be very good at all. Because we don't have a level 2 to even get access to Sprint here. We would probably go Sarony, banish Rebellion. And that's it, never mind. We go Magnemite, banish Rebellion, but yeah, that's not even worth playing up because that's as far as we could go. Okay, we've got blue, Assault Synchron, Magnemite, Brain of Beast, and Imperm. Okay, so this will be special Assault Synchron. Take 700. This will be special blue. Use blue effect to grab Jet. Yeah, we'll go for Jet and Starter. Summon Jet. Grab Starter. Magnemite in hand is great for the Cupid pitch line that we're going to have here. So it's going to be blue and Assault Synchron. Now we haven't normaled yet, which is important to keep note of. So let's remember that. We've got pitch. With pitch, we can increase its level to level 6 because then we have a level 6, level 2. Now here though, as far as tuners go, we can easily get up into Baron. Well, we can easily get Baron Disparter through what we've got here. So yeah, we'll do it that way. So we'll go to these two. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the Red Dragon Archfiend stuff because we need the extra tuner to get there. Where the Stardust line does do that for us, specifically because it's Assault Synchron. If it was any of the other tuners, we would be able to do it. Some of the Assault Synchron tribute the, let's backtrack a second here. By synchroing this, we get this Chainlink 1, Cupid Pitch Chainlink 2, or actually probably get the other way around. Cupid Pitch will grab the Calico Claw Crow. And then Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, it would have tributed for cost, but Stardust, and then that goes into Disparter first. Assault Synchron banishes to bring back the Excel Synchro, and then Disparter can bring back the Assault Synchron to go into Baron. And then from here, we can summon the Calico Claw Crow, and we can also summon the Magnemite by banishing the Jet. Declare the Magnemite, and with these, this will take us. Is it worth going up into Sprint here? Yep, we'll go up into Sprint. Sprint will dump Vision. Yeah, no, it's always worth doing this. Dump Vision. Grab Crimson, activate the Crimson, get back the Vision, which again, it can be special summoned at this point. So with this engine, we kind of get to save our starter here. We can summon the Vision, overlay it with Sprint, and this is just going to be the Ibly lock again. Gigantic, detach, Ibly, link for Beat Cop, opponent gets the Ibly, tribute the Beat Cop, set Imperm, set Beast, set Starter, and this is what most boards tend to look like. So Beast, Imperm, Gaia, Starter, Baron, Disparter, with them having the Ibly. And then as far as the follow-up goes, obviously we resolve our Magnamut to get the Ringo Worm. And that's generally what we're looking like here with the end boards as such. Yeah, so, okay, in these test hands, I won't go anymore just because I've already kind of dragged on a while, but we didn't get to show these off. Definitely I could have done it in the hand a few ago where we had the Ringo Worm in hand, plus we got access to Vision Resonator. Yeah, I feel like this is really good, but please let me know what you think in the comments as far as this and this, what you think is the kind of better inclusion. I think the ability to recycle the Red Dragon stuff with Crimson Gaia is really nice. I think that's worth it, to the point where I think it's the Stardust Dragon that gets cut. Although I guess the issue here is that doing the Excel thing does give us access to the Baron and Disparter player. So does this. We just need to have 2 tuners because the Scar doesn't get us access to another tuner itself, whereas Excel can kind of get us there by reborning the Assault, going into Disparter and bringing back the Assault Synchron. But it's only with Assault Synchron specifically, not with Ringo and... oh, sorry, this can do it with Ringo, but so this can also do it with Ringo Worm. Yeah, but otherwise, that's going to do it for this video. Certainly let me know what you think. Me being a Resonator fan, I'm probably more biased towards this and wanting this to be good, but I can definitely see how this probably comes up maybe a bit more, I don't know. But otherwise, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching.